It feels like a nightmare at 4 a.m. when you toss and turn in bed and try to silence the sound of men shouting and gunshots firing. When you wake up, the noise is getting louder. Feet stomp the ground, houses are burning and children are crying. It is not a dream. It is an attack on your community, on your people, by militants from the land of another country bordering your own. You run into the bushes to hide with your family. Welcome to Vestiges of Violence. Here, we talk about survivors. For Human Angle, I am Sabiga. On December 5th, 2023, suspected Ambazonian militants attacked the Belegete community in Cross River, South Nigeria, a border village near Cameroon. Belegete has hosted Cameroonian refugees fleeing attacks by separatists. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, ADF, seek independence for Ambazonia in Cameroon's southwest and northwest regions, leading to tensions with the country's authorities. When the militants attacked, Elizabeth, a widowed 40-year-old mother, and her children were sleeping. When the noise woke them up, they fled into the bushes. They were in hiding for a week, feeding on kernels until they regrouped with their community and went up to a nearby ranch. Elizabeth's eldest son, aged 20, has been missing since the day of the attack. It has been 4 months, and life at the ranch has been difficult. They sleep on cold floors, merely covered with sacks. They queue up to cook in one small pot that feeds some children and leaves the adults hungry. When the children get sick, Elizabeth would boil some leaves and feed the water to them, although it is no cure. When it rains, and it so often does, there is no way to cook because the firewood is drenched and there is no kitchen indoors.
No get pot to cook.
We don't have pots to cook. It rains a lot. Even as I speak to you now, it is raining heavily. About 10 of us share only one pot, and sometimes it doesn't even reach us, so we stay hungry.
Christmas for Elizabeth and her children used to be exciting. She made a lot of money from her farm produce. She would buy the children new clothes, slaughter an animal, cook delicious meals, and celebrate with family. But last year, during Christmas, they were still grieving the loss of the Belegete chief who had been killed by the ADF. Elizabeth longs to go back to the warmth of her home, but her farm is now overgrown with bush and weeds, and her house is in ruins. No food or shelter awaits her.
Our cocoa and cassava farms are a mess because we've been stuck at the ranch. We haven't cleared them in months. Even when we get back, we can't harvest, which means no food for us.
Residents of Belegete believe that the lack of telecommunication services and the absence of roads made them vulnerable to this attack. Because there was no reliable communication, they couldn't reach the military for help. And by the time aid arrived, the damage had already been done. Some government officials visited the ranch in December and March to distribute food items to the Belegete community, but the supplies are quickly running out and are not enough to sustain them. The Nigerian army has deployed soldiers to the ranch to protect those seeking refuge there. The people of Belegete desire to return to their once peaceful village, where they can farm and live with their families again.
We want roads to our village.
We want the government to build roads to our village and provide us with materials to rebuild our burned down houses and give us pots to cook in the ranch.
This episode was reported by Adejumo Kabiru, scripted by Sabiga Bello. Multimedia editor is Anthony Asamuta, and executive producer is Ahmed Talkida. In order to protect the identities of survivors, we use voice actors for this episode. If you or anyone you know have a story to share on vestiges of violence, do not hesitate to get in touch with us.